What's going on, guys? Good evening. We are back with the Premier League and we are back with our Premier League match reviews. And today, Manchester City have hosted Arsenal at the Etihad Stadium, as well as Aston Villa playing against Sheffield United in the first match of the Premier League start. It's ended at the Etihad. Manchester City 3, Arsenal 0. I am here with Yannicka and Ramsey again. Yesterday we did our preview. Today is the review. I'm going to start with Yannicka. The home side, the winning side. You must be happy with what you saw out there.
Yeah, it was quite like pre-season in the way the game went. It started a bit slow. You know, a lot of the passing was a bit sloppy in the first half. But then the second half, you saw more of, you know, the decent City plays and, you know, we actually scored some goals. But yeah, I'm happy. 3-0, you know, at home. That's a good result.
When we did the preview, you were a bit skeptical about kind of what City would turn up. In the end, you obviously went for a City win. Did they play better than you expected?
I think I did expect them to play the way they played. I did expect, you know, it to be a bit pre-season-ish, you know, like the feel of the game, at which it is exactly what happened. It was a bit slow the first half, but the second half was more, you know, like we have been playing. Yeah, I thought it would be a closer result, but I don't know whether the fact they had 10 men played a part in that. So I don't know, it might have been 2-1, like I suggested, you know, if that didn't happen. So I don't know. But I think, yeah, I wouldn't say they particularly played better than I thought, but, you know, they did all
right. Ramsey, I mean, you weren't very optimistic going into the game. I mean, it didn't. At times, maybe Arsenal will have their own, but I think I could see it as like it's only a matter of time before City score and City get the win. I don't know if that's how you saw it. What's your take on the game?
Yeah, I mean, you know, at 38 minutes or whatever, you're kind of thinking, all right, let's get to half time, 0-0. And then, you know, you can maybe make some changes, go a bit attacking and see if we can try attack because, you know, we didn't really attack in the first half. And I kind of was interesting to see that because, you know, usually you play City in Liverpool, we go all out, you know, and we go all out and try and match them up. Whereas this time we just sort of said, you know what, they're the better team. I'm going to sit deep and, you know, try and just wait for them to try and break us down. Then obviously plans just go to complete utter shutdown and Mari gets injured and Xhaka gets injured. You know, that changes things, you know. For us, it means that, you know, we're playing with a team we didn't kind of expect to play. And then, yeah, it just went from bad to worse, really. From conceded the first goal, it just was like that was about it. It was just going to damage limitation from there.
Most people are putting the blame on David Luiz. I mean, this whole video could be purely on David Luiz and we wouldn't run out of things to say. Is it as simple as that? David Luiz comes on, Arsenal lose.
Yeah, it is. And I think the reality is now, I don't want to see him play for Arsenal again. I think he's got to that stage now. I mean, I held patience with him for so long. You know this. Yeah. I've been trying to back him. Been trying to hold forth their mistakes against, I think, Liverpool and gave her the penalty. Everyone was like, oh, this is standard David Luiz. Then we had like the mess up at Chelsea. And then, you know, other little things across the season. And then now this. And it's like, do you know what? There's no point now, David Luiz. Just like the first mistake, okay, the ball kind of skidded up and you should have done better. Should have controlled it. Didn't.
But it's such a David Luiz. Like, if there's anyone,
it had to happen to him. It had to happen to him. But the thing is, and I'm the same with Mustafi in the sense that I've given up on Mustafi. He played all right, and he has been playing all right. But the reality is, sometimes you've gone too far, and I think like Mustafi hasn't made a mess up for a few months now. So everyone's sort of forgetting about that until it happens again. That's the same thing with David Luiz.
He's actually played, and some will say Arsenal's best defender since
Yeah, but that's not saying much. Oh, that's not saying much at all. It's not saying much. I wish that was something that, because you know what, he's been our best, but that doesn't mean anything. David Luiz has been bad. Socrates has been up and down. Mari, I wanted to have him get a good run of games. He's now
Yeah.
got Achilles injury. What does that mean? Is that another 2-3 weeks out? We're going to see him not get another run of games as well. Arteta's pretty much talk was that there's been some problems with David Luiz in the past couple of weeks, which is why he's not starting. Now he's got the red card. He's not gonna. The problems are not easing from there. Whether it was off the pitch or on the pitch. So
That means if I don't know if my calculations are correctly, but that'll be a 1-game ban, and his contract runs out at the end of June. So he's potentially only got one possible game left for Arsenal.
And you know what? I'm inclined to appeal to the FA to give him a 3-game ban, because it was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad that, if they say, you know what, we'll extend it to 3 games, I'll be happy with that. And then, he just doesn't play again. And even, as you said, even if he does come back for 1 game, I think he maybe for the Sheffield United FA Cup game, he shouldn't even be playing. He should now be below Holding and Socrates in the pecking order now. There's no point. There's just no point.
Yesterday when we spoke about the 5 subs, City obviously used the full repertoire of their 5 at the 3 designated places where the managers can make the subs. Aguero was brought on very, very late. Were you surprised that Jesus actually started the game? I mean, I guess when it comes to Pep, you can't really be surprised of anything. But the first game back, Aguero is your main striker, so-called big game anyway. As far as big games go, I thought Aguero was going to start.
Yeah, my issue with him not playing as much is simply that, he's in the race for the Golden Boot, and I don't like the fact that every season he's not playing as many games as the people that he's competing against. And then it's like he'll come 1 or 2 behind, and it's always like, oh, Aguero is not the best striker, because if he was, he would have had more Golden Boots. But in reality, he could have a lot more Golden Boots than he actually has, because a lot of the time, how many times does Pep bring him off when he scored 2? And how many hat-tricks has he got? Like, he's got so many, and that's after being dragged off after 2 goals. So I think I love him, and I think for me he's the best striker that I've seen him at City.
I mean, there's not that many to choose from.
Well, in the league, he's one of the best ever. So I just think his potential could be a lot more. So I think a game like Arsenal, I don't know. I think I probably would have started Aguero and brought Gabby on later. I would have done it the other way around. But I think he has said that he wants to play everyone. So I think the next game, Aguero will start, and that's how he's going to do it.
That's the thing. Against Burnley,
it's less pressure for Gabby at home anyway than it is away. Even though we've not got any fans, I think that's probably what he's thinking. But I'm happy that he started Garcia. That's who I'm happy about.
I just want to say with Jesus, I mean, I don't know what your thoughts of it, but for me, he's it's Arsenal. It's Arsenal, and it's kind of like you could get away with it. It's not like it's not the Arsenal of old, where it's going to be, you feel like you're going to be too much threatened. But Jesus didn't. For me, I didn't feel threatened by him playing. Not like it was Sterling, it was Mahrez, it was De Bruyne, it was even Silva, even Laporte from a corner. But Jesus, for me, just never. I never seemed threatened by him. And
he had one chance where Kyle Walker got into the box and he cut it back. And I don't understand. Like, Jesus just left the ball. I don't know if he got a call on someone or whatever. But other than that, I didn't really see him in the game. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
The thing is, for me, I think he's most effective. When you're 1-0 up against the team and you just cannot score to, another goal, like it's just not happening. He's very good at holding the ball up. So, at the end of the game where you need to keep a 1-0 lead, if you give it Gabby, he's very, very, very good at holding it up. So there's been a lot of times where at the end of the game, Gabby's been on and he's really effective. So that's why I feel, for me, I would always start Aguero, take Aguero off and put Gabby on. That's the way I would do it. But I do love Gabs. He does surprisingly get a lot of goals, usually when he does play. So he, even when he isn't playing particularly well, he still scores. So I think today it's kind of, for me, I feel like it's like pre-season, the way they're playing. You know, you get that kind of, even De Bruyne today, quite a few sloppy passes that wouldn't normally happen, you know. So
looked like he had a few sloppy meals over lockdown as well. Had a bit of rebellion.
But it happens at the, you know, it is basically like the start of a new season because they've had a break. So, you know, some look fresh, some look really good, and others not so good. You know, that's just how it is.
Speaking of, obviously, talk about strikers. Man City had a lot of chances, even before they scored, but throughout the game. Ramon, I'm sure for you, Arsenal's man of the match, Bernd Leno, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, he was magnificent. And considering we conceded 3 goals in the game, which, you know, none of them was his fault. In fact, the 3rd goal was another great save. Guerrero really should have scored, and he stuck out a foot. And before before it was, and you know, it goes under the radar because our defense has been so bad. But you know, after Aubameyang, he's been our next best player this season. You know, he's made a couple of errors leading to goals. But you know, as an overall, he's made a lot of stuff. I think only Nick Pope has made more saves in the Premier League than him this season, which shows a lot about our defense, how we concede a lot of shots. But he does make a lot of saves, and again, he made another 5-6 good saves today. Yeah, he's a good goalkeeper. He's a very good goalkeeper, and I think, you know, but it's all about how Arsenal build with players like that. Like, I think Tierney's a good left back, and we've got some sort of gems that we can kind of build forward. But we've got so many other players that make mistakes, which make us just look badder than we are. You know, but like, he, for me, could go on to another level. He should be playing in Champions League. I think he's that good. So, you know, it'll be like, if he wanted to go, I wouldn't be surprised if people, you know, someone came in for him. So, you know, yeah, again, brilliant performance from him. I couldn't fault him whatsoever. Our best player by far.
You mentioned Yannicka. You mentioned Garcia. He slotted in that centre back next to Laporte, and I was surprised to see him. I mean, I was making some late fantasy football changes, and I was looking at the likes of John Stones, Otamendi. Is Cancelo going to play? And man went for Garcia, like, you know, just like Pep. Pep had to throw in a wild card. I think he's actually got a fantasy football team, and he's competing against certain people who might Otamendi. I'm convinced. Garcia. When was it? Wait, I don't watch City like you do. When was the last time he played? Granted, I mean, none of us.
Garcia. To be honest, he towards the end of the season, before the break, he was playing Garcia, but not every game. You know, he likes to change it around. But he has played quite. I think he normally plays him at home. You know, the home games. And he doesn't always play him for the full 90 minutes. So that's probably why you've not noticed.
But you must be happy with how we played today.
You know what? He's a young guy, but he's really, like, mature in the way he plays. You know, there's no nonsense defending. It's not, you know, some people when they're young, they're quite erratic. You know, they take people out. He doesn't. He's just quite. I think he's like a sensible guy off the pitch. He just comes across that way. And it's funny because I was saying today, I could see like Kyle Walker, you know, offering him advice, and I was just thinking it needs to be the other way around. Because, you know, I'd say Garcia's less likely to make a mistake than Kyle. But I think for me, if I had to choose 2 centre backs at the moment, I would pick Garcia and Laporte. That's who I would pick. I feel safest when them 2 are at the back.
I mean, I don't blame you.
I love Fernandinho, but I mean, in terms of if Fernandinho plays in front of them, you know, I wouldn't not play Fernandinho.
Today, Fernandinho came on and he went back into, went to centre back, didn't he? I believe he did. I'm sure he did.
Yeah, because Eric. Laporte went off first.
Yeah.
Then Garcia got taken out. So yeah.
Yeah, well, taken out by Edison. I don't know what Edison was doing. He's crazy. He's actually crazy. That's mad.
I think he's so tough though. He just flies in with no doesn't care.
Hopefully Garcia is
I know.
Forward, we'll see. Hopefully,
it's just he got hit so hard. I think he's obviously just been knocked out, but he was still moving around. So
yeah,
I hope it's just for protection, you know, in case he has hurt his back.
Ramon, 0 shots on target.
Mm.
I mean, we can talk about LUIZ, talk about how great Leno is and what changes, Arsenal might need to make at the back to make it, or how players need to gel and perform. But zero, I know it's Man City, but 0 shots on target.
Mm.
That you can't put that on LUIZ. He got sent off in the second half.
Mm.
What went wrong?
You can't put it on LUIZ, but there was a lack of build up from the squad from back to front, and even though even when Mario was there, it looked like we had the ball at the back a lot, and there was no way for us to build. Now, is that partly because Xhaka went off? Yeah, he's a player who likes to create, can kind of pick the ball up and move. Guendouzi, Ceballos, and Willock are not the players to find the killer pass at all times, but they're all good on the ball. But it's just that build up to the front, and you know what, he took a risk today. I'll tell put Nketiah, Saka, Willock, over the likes of Pepe.
Lively in the first half, especially.
What's that?
Nketiah looked lively in the first half.
Yeah, and he's. I think that's what it is. The choice between Lacazette and Nketiah is Lacazette's the one to hold the ball up and you get players in around, and Nketiah will just run around and try and cause problems. And I think he obviously went for that option. He, like I said, he took a risk and it didn't work. Not what I personally would have done, not what I predicted he would have done. But I think it's because no one's really proven that their point to be in that position. Pepe and Lacazette haven't had the greatest of seasons themselves, so why should they be ahead? Mesut Ozil wasn't even in the squad today, not injured. So that's a big call from Arteta as well. Obviously, 1 assist this season, not been created enough as well. So I think Arteta's trying to. These last 10 games, I think, will be for him just trying to find a balance in the team, trying to find how Arsenal can go on, past this season as well. But as you said, poor from everyone, including Aubameyang. He couldn't even get into the game at left wing. He just didn't look like himself. But yeah, it's Man City. I think Brighton on Saturday, we have to just kick on and just go for it there, man.
I know you weren't 100% confident anyway before this match. 9 games left, 8 points off top 4. Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone. It's definitely gone. Top 4 is gone. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. This would have been a big win. 3 points behind Man United. This would have been a big win. But yeah, now with this being a loss registered with 10 games to go, 9 games to go, it's just it's gone now really for me. And it's Europa League is our best bet of being in Europe next season via FA Cup or league
position.
Yeah,
obviously we mentioned Kevin De Bruyne a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
I think he was brilliant today. For me, man of the match, got his goal from the penalty spot. I think he got credit with the assist for Sterling's goal. Sterling got the first goal back from the Premier League. Restart that live matter and all that. He's on 17 assists this season. I think he's 3 behind Henry. Henry's record is 20.
Yeah.
Are you expecting him to get he needs 4 more to break the record? Are you expecting him to get that and break the record?
I would think so. On average, he does seem to get at least 1 a game, or if he doesn't get 1 every game, he'll get 1 every other. So with there being 9 games left, I would expect him, to at least match it, if he doesn't overtake it.
And would he go down as your PFA Player of the Year? I know there's been a lot of talk about obviously Liverpool being how many points clear, so it should go to one of their players. Henderson has been touted. I guess Mane is probably another one. Would you give it to De Bruyne?
I would personally, because when we win the league, a lot of people say it's not about who wins. It's not about the team effort. It's about who is the best player in the league at that time. And I think who is better than De Bruyne right now? I don't think there is anyone that is. So if it's fair, he should get it. Yeah. But I think, he's been, this season's been very long now. But yeah, from start to finish, he's been the only player that I would say is, better than anyone that's in the Liverpool team, because they've had a great season. So yeah, I think he does, if he gets it, he'll definitely deserve it. but I'm not sure he'll get it because it doesn't seem to work like that when we
It'd be
don't win the league.
Has the votes been done for that? Because it's usually around March. I don't know if everything was postponed.
No, they postponed the votes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see when they do that. Would you give it to De Bruyne, Ramon?
Yeah, I'd probably give it to De Bruyne. On the assist though, Martin Tyler said that he doesn't think he'll get the 17th assist for today's goal, because the deflection on David Luiz was too much. The dubious assists don't really give it for that big of a deflection.
I mean, so he passed it in that direction, correct?
Yeah, it was definitely going towards Sterling.
Yeah, and David Luiz deflected it, and it still went through to Sterling. I don't know,
Yeah.
It was a big deflection.
I think with the assist panel, they're very much any small deflection, and they're very wary of giving the assist, even though you're meant to do it, like because it's not a direct. I think there was one incidence of they said Cesc Fabregas did appeal one, and got given the assist after a small deflection, a very small nick. This one was a big, like it did hit off his leg and back and go high in the air. So
it changed the whole direction, I think. So
yeah, I don't think he'll get it. He had one taken off him already this season as well, isn't it? So that'll be second.
Yeah. There's been a few because with City, there's been a lot where it's hit a lot of people before it's gone in. So it's kind of working out who it hit last. So yeah, I think I still think he'll probably get it.
As long as Pep plays him every game,
he needs to play every game. I think Aguero needs to play as much as he can as well because we need to try and get the individual records. Because our team, we're a lot about what we win as a team, but I think people need to start being a bit selfish and thinking of themselves. Because these are the sort of things that you're remembered by, how many golden boots you've got, how many awards you've got. So I think they do need to be a bit selfish in these last 9 games.
Before we speak about I don't know if anyone watched the first game. I'm not going to speak massively about it, just one incident. But before we go into that, I want to speak about Champions League because obviously we got announcement from UEFA today that the second legs will play in the last 16. So of course, Man City's got a second leg supposedly at home against Real Madrid. Whether it plays at the Etihad or they play in a neutral venue, Portugal is it Portugal? Portugal's where the Champions League I think is being played, and Germany is where the Europa League is set to be played from the quarterfinals onward. And then the quarterfinals and semi-finals will only be one leg, so straight knockout basically. Do you think that gives City an advantage, a disadvantage, or makes no difference? It being a one round shootout basically, up to the final.
The only thing I would say is normally the whole purpose of having 2 legs is that you have your first leg away or your first leg at home and then your second leg away. The whole point in the home advantage is that you have your fans behind you. You're in a familiar stadium, so if we play at a neutral venue, we've lost all of the advantage that we would have. So it just depends because if we play Madrid in a neutral venue and they score 1 goal, with the away goals rule, that goal is basically worth 2. But that wouldn't really be fair because we haven't got any home advantage if we're at a neutral ground and we've got no fans. So I don't know if it's that fair. Obviously, if we go and win, it won't matter. But I think if we go there and we get I don't know, if we kind of don't go through based on away goals, I don't think that will be fair.
What about I said from the quarterfinals onward, it's going to be 1 round knockout. So 1 leg in the quarterfinals, 1 round in the semis. If you do go through to the quarterfinals, would you prefer a 1 game, 1-off quarterfinal, 1-off semi-final, or it doesn't really make a difference?
I don't know. It's less stressful to have 1 game because I think half the time, like last season against Tottenham, Pep kind of played it a bit safe in the first kind of leg, and I think he went there for a draw. So we didn't play De Bruyne until late on. By the time De Bruyne came on, it was too late to change the game, really. So, you know, we ended up losing 1-0. And then when we came back, you know, we didn't defend too great, and it ended up being a 4-4, you know, result in the end. And obviously we didn't go through on away goals. So I think if the players know that they have to win to go through, I feel like it might be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Obviously, like you say, it's less games, so we've got less games to play to win it. But if you turn up and you don't play well, you're out straight away. You don't have that chance of, you know, redeeming it. Like Liverpool against Barcelona, you know, 4-0 down, they're out, gone. But then they had that chance to go to Anfield and turn it around, you know, whereas we won't have that chance if we go and lose 4-0. We won't have the chance to redeem ourselves. So it has got its pros and cons, I think.
I heard that. All right, so as I said, the first game of the Project Restart, Premier League Restart, was Aston Villa versus Sheffield United. Of course, Sheffield United fighting for Champions League positions, Aston Villa fighting to stay in the league. I'm going to pull up a picture. Let's see if this works now. And it was, let's see. It was a goal that wasn't given. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So there's a goal that wasn't given. And for me, well, I think for everyone, I saw at the time and I was like, that guy is so far behind the line that it must be a goal. And Michael, I think it was Michael Oliver, he was looking at his watch and he was saying to the players, no, there's nothing. It doesn't show that there's any goal on my watch. And I think one of the guys, might be O'Connor, was telling him, you know, maybe your watch is broken. Maybe in jest, but the players were celebrating. As you can see over here, this player here, he's celebrating. He can see that it's gone in. I'm sure this player also can see it's gone in, as well as all of the Aston Villa players. Number 40, I'm guessing I look like Tyrone Mings. He can see that it's gone in 100%. And the keeper's face was like covered in this guilt. Now, I understand if the watch don't work, the referee can't give it. The linesman, it's not his job to give it anymore. They got the goal line technology for that. But surely, in this era of VAR, the VAR should step in once the ball goes out of play. So hold up, like they've been doing all season. Referee, hand to the air, hold up, we're going to check this. And they can use the slow motion and common sense to show that the ball has clearly gone over the line. So I'm coming to Ramsey first. What has gone wrong with your favorite subject, VAR?
Yeah, it's a shambles, to be honest. I guess they put all of their faith in goal line technology. That's the reality of it. They put everything in and said, no, it's never failed us before. So the reality is we're gonna trust it. And if it says no goal, it's no goal. And that's been the way forward. That's been a mantra from the start, and that's what they continue to do. But the fact is, look, if people are appealing that much, and the referee is saying, I can't give it, like, or I don't know, because the watch is not telling me it's a goal. All you have to do is pause the game for 2 minutes. It's what you've been doing all season. You pause the game, you have a look, you say, okay, did something go wrong here? Do we miss something? The cameras clearly picked it up straight away, the Sky cameras, anyway, and they you can see it's a clear goal from there. It's not hard to just stop. That's what VAR has been brought in for. But it's like they wanted to just restart quickly, because I think by the time we got to the second stoppage, everyone knew. The commentators knew.
Yeah.
People, all of us knew on Twitter and everything else. We all knew. So all it took would have been one stoppage. Just hold the ball for 2 minutes. Let us just check, as they've been doing there all season. But it's like they just wanted the game to carry on, and they can apologize all they want. But these decisions, Aston Villa have gained a point from this. Clubs that go down, if they go down by 1 point because Villa stayed up, it's gonna be a massive talking point.
Let me read the statement that Hawkeye, who obviously managed the goal line technology, came out with. During the first half of Aston Villa for Sheffield United at Villa Park, there was a goal line incident where the ball was carried over the line by the Villa keeper. The match officials did not receive the signal to the watch nor earpiece as per the GDS goal decision system protocol. The 7 cameras, located in the stands around the goal area, were significantly occluded, by the goalkeeper, defender, and goalpost. The level of occlusion has never been seen before in over 9,000 matches that the Hawkeye goal line technology system has been in operation. The system was tested and proved functional prior to the start of the match in accordance with the IFAB laws of the game and confirmed as working by the match officials. The system remained functional throughout. Hawkeye unreservedly apologized to the Premier League, Sheffield United, and everyone affected by this incident. You know, it's funny. That's one of the best apologies I've ever seen for such a, I won't say trivial, but when you consider everything that's happening in the world, some people should come out with these apologies when you know you see on social media, oh, someone's old tweets have been dragged up or they've said something they shouldn't have had. This is actually a proper apology. But Yannicka, is it good enough? Like Sheffield United, they're going for Champions League. If they missed out by, let's say, a point, and the 2 points they would have gained from this win would have gotten into the Champions League, what do they do with this apology?
Well, that's the problem, because I think I was all for VAR in the beginning, because I thought there's a lot of games where a decision doesn't go your way, something like that, it's not clear, no one saw it. And, you'd always think, oh, if they only had gone back and checked the cameras and then, we could have had it, that sort of thing. So I welcomed VAR in, but I just think it's not being used correctly. Do you know what I mean? There's some decisions that they're just thinking, oh, we'll ignore that. And then there's other decisions that are trivial, like a fingernail offside, and they're calling it back and taking the goal away. So I think, I thought it'd be good because I thought, for them sort of decisions where everyone on the TV can see that that's gone in, but the referee wasn't so sure, I think it should be used for stuff like that, not just, I know they've said that the cameras, they couldn't see, the cameras were obstructed. So there's not really much they can do from that. But I just think if the TV cameras are showing it and everyone can see it, then why can't they? It should be a simpler procedure. And like you say, if Villa stay up by a point, it's not really fair because, that point wasn't a deserved point in terms of, what should have happened. So I don't know. Sheffield United will be gutted as well because they have done really well this season. They're not mid-table struggling. No. They've been doing really well and they're pushing for European places. So that drop 2 points, can make a big difference to whether they finish in the Europa League places or they don't.
Well,
it's unfair.
Me personally, it's definitely unfair. But I wasn't too disappointed in it because Sheffield United are on our coattails for that Champions League position, innit? So I was like, okay, unlucky Sheffield. But you know what? And we had a game against Sheffield. Where we came back from 2-0 down with 3-2 up, and they got some. What was it? They scored a last-minute equalizer to make it 3-3, and it was a definite 100% handball. But it's like before VAR, you will say accidental, the ball was blasted towards him, blah blah. But since VAR's come in, it's like any handball that leads to a goal, they disallow it until that one. So I was like, what? How can? So you know what? As I say, the decisions tend to even themselves out over the course of the season. When it comes to VAR, everything should be 100% pretty much. But I guess even with VAR, once you've got humans operating there, there's still going to be mistakes. So maybe that the 2 points that they missed out here makes up for the 2 points or the additional point that they got when we played them at Bramall Lane last. And we've got them coming up in the next couple of games. So hopefully we can put to bed any aspirations they have for Champions League football good and once and for all. I'm going to say thank you to Yannicka and Ramsey for the Man City Arsenal match review. Guys, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe button, leave your comments below, and join us on Friday, where we will be reviewing the Tottenham versus Man United Premier League game. Man United's return to Premier League action. And hopefully, as far as I'm concerned, 3 points for Solskjaer over Jose Mourinho once again. Yannicka, Ramon, thank you, and see you soon.
Bye.
Cheers. See ya.